So I've given the body of my dragster a rough rasping down just for the purposes of this demonstration, and you really want to think about rounding off all the sharp edges to try to make your design more aerodynamic. Something to note is we need to keep the areas by where the wheels are going to go, where the axles are going to come out. We need to keep that flat. So if we move on to sanding, building on what you already know, we've got our sandpaper which has different numbers on the back. So we're going to start with a low number, probably around 60 or 80 grit sandpaper, moving up to 100 or 150, and then finishing with 240. So we're trying to sand at each stage to get it nice and smooth, remove this roughness. We need to start with the low number because the lower number removes more material. If you start with the 240, you're going to be there a long time. So start with the 60 or 80 grit sandpaper, really sanding it down until you can't get it any smoother with the 80. And when you are sanding, you need to go with the grain. So the grain is the lines in the wood, the way the tree has grown. So here you can see them going up and down this way. So I wouldn't sand across, I would sand with the grains. You can put the sandpaper on the desk, do it that way. We could use a sanding block. There's lots of different ways of doing it. To get into these smaller areas, I could always wrap my sandpaper around a rasp or a file or another piece of wood, and we could do it that way. So starting at a low number, like a 60 or an 80 grit, moving on to 100 grit, even though these are the same color, they are different grits. You can feel it's a lot smoother, and then finishing with 240.